This podcast recorded in the public life at the other time.
It's time for topical discussion. Topical discussion.
Hello, Internet.
Hello.
Hey, Stu.
Hello, Tom.
There you go, yeah.
Hey, Tom.
Hello. Hello.
So we're sorting out some jokes, and what we thought we would do is we would Macathon the jokes. And it turns out it doesn't work. Because jokes are about plays on words and all that stuff. So if you take words out and you're communicating without conventional speech or using Macathon to support your speech, so it might work to support speech, but not a lot.
No. And you think the amount of jokes that are plays on words as well, it's just gonna.
You can't like have a play on sign.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've got a few, which we'll give you two of them, just two of them, because then we don't give away everything. So this is for the Heritage Project, and will be for everyone to see and be a part of on the 24th of September. So we're well ahead of schedule, he says. So one of the jokes was a grasshopper walks into the bar and the barman says, "We have a drink named after you." And then the guy walks in and goes, "You have a drink named Stuart?" What? Funny. But then a grasshopper, so that's a grasshopper, walks into a bar and the barman says, we have a drink named after you. You have a drink called Stuart? It doesn't work, does it? So if I took away, it kind of goes.
It's not got the same flow to it as a joke does either, which is really.
That might just be because I'm having to think. And I'm reading it. That might be me. But then, so that's a fairly simple one. So it kind of works.
That one was the best one.
If you took out all the words, it wouldn't make sense. But then again, Macathon's for supporting speech, so you wouldn't take out. And jokes are kind of situational anyway, because jokes that you may find funny with one group of friends may really offend another group of friends, or so jokes. Are kind of inherently not inclusive. In fact, they totally are.
Well, the fact that even for like the knock knock joke you gave an example for, with knock knock being yes in Macathon, that immediately just means that knock knock jokes are confusing straight away. And they're like,
if you had two people, so if I was like knock knock and you were like, who's there? Then that would make it more easy to understand, because then it's more of a conversation, isn't it?
But I suppose when you say when it's like supported, then it does work.
Yeah.
So there is that.
So we were going to put these on all our jokes that are going to go in this little movie that we're making. So this is like comic relief between, I guess, factual things that are going to go on.
Yeah.
We were going to have Macathon for it all. Instead, we're going to have a Macathon introduction and we're going to have subtitles. We're not going to have Macathon the whole way through because it doesn't work. It doesn't make it any more accessible for anyone. It just makes it confusing, actually. Less accessible.
Far less accessible because you're trying to figure it out at the same time and it's not supporting you.
No, and it misguides, like you're saying, for the knock knock stuff, unless we had a different site, like if you were like knock knock or knock, I don't know.
Yeah.
Or if you're like knock knock, because you don't need to knock.
Maybe you don't need to knock.
Hello, who are you?
I think there was the past, present and future one I think actually did work quite well. So there are some that actually do really work really well. But
except for then there's the tense bit.
I thought, like, kind of like it was tense. No, like kind of worked a bit
giving
more.
away all our jokes.
Yeah,
right?
Sorry. Yeah.
So the one that doesn't work, I'm gonna.
This one's
So, did you see the movie about the hot dog? It was an Oscar wiener.
Hilarious.
Great joke.
Hilarious.
So, did you see the movie about what was hot dog? Which
so it
like
was
hot
dog.
It was an Oscar winner. What's that? But and it's
so
a
we
winner.
did
It's
Oscar
wiener,
the name. We did, and then wiener we had.
So you could be like, it was an Oscar. Well, so you wouldn't. It's not being used as a name. So Oscar. Well, you can't be a wiener, can you? You don't want that because then that'll be something entirely different.
But then hot dog as well was we were using like hot and dog rather than
but that's
the
wiener
food
like.
item.
Yeah. Anyway, Makaton jokes doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or at least
Those
generic
ones.
jokes don't work. Maybe there's specific Makaton jokes that do work.
Maybe there's something that we could
Because
do.
like
as well.
shopping and dog are kind of pretty similar. So you could make a joke about misinterpreting the signs, and instead of going to the shop, you go to a dog, or do you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe there's a joke book waiting to be written.
A Makaton joke.
Makaton joke.
Not
book.
written.
Created.
Filmed.
Pictures drawn. Created. Yeah, I think that's a
Did you keep up with that, Stu?
It's dumb.
with your joke as well.
Dumb.
Yeah.
No, your joke's dumb.
Really? Oh, thanks, Dave. Yeah. Learning.
Yeah. And really interesting. Actually.
It really is interesting.
This is the news. Hello and welcome to the news part of the podcast, and this is for August for the Telling Ties podcast. With us today, you have me, Tom,
Stuart.
Dominic. What's that?
So, we're just kind of round you off with what we've been up to last month and kind of a couple of things we've got coming up in this month as well. So the first thing is Colorscape. We have commissioned an organisation called Colorscape to come and create an immersive and multi-sensory space at the Credit and Arts Centre on the 22nd and 23rd. So basically, they come to make a really colourful, interactive, touch-sensitive space with instruments and live sounds.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it is really, really cool.
You should Google them.
I should Google them. I should have done that before recording this.
No, whoever's listening to should Google them. Type it in. What were they called again?
Colorscape.
Colorscape. Type it in on Google. Give them a look. They use a lot of kind of, I don't know whether it's sheets or what, but like white sheets, and they
Some
underlight it
Velcro and
backlight
stuff,
it.
yeah.
And they do things with like you can play instruments with your movements and with your eyes and stuff. So if you've got limited mobility or you don't normally get to access kind of the usual musical instruments, there's a whole bunch of like totally immersive, interactive stuff. It's like a mix of being on a bouncy castle that isn't bouncy and winning the Crystal Maze.
Oh my god, well that sounds...
See what I mean?
Wow, that looks amazing.
Yeah.
So I think what we're going to do is we're going to try and link these to the Heritage Project.
Did you ever watch the Magic School Bus?
I've never watched the Magic School Bus.
You heard of the Magic School Bus? Am I showing my age again? You've heard of the Magic School
You're
Bus.
showing your age again.
Magic School Bus. It's like a cartoon. It's the school bus, obviously, that's magic, and the kids go in it and they go with their teacher on these cool like school trips and journeys. There's one.
Is there a lizard?
There is.
Has it got a pet lizard?
Yeah, little baby.
Okay,
so-
I think I know. Is it
Cool.
green?
Yes.
Yes.
So they go. There's one of them where
I
they
know-
go
I
on this
think I know
school
what you mean.
trip where the Magic School Bus shrinks down and they go inside the human body and explore like the
Oh my-
ventricles and the
yeah,
arteries
that's really
and stuff. That's what
That's
the
really, really
Colorscape
cool.
looks like.
That,
You could have
I
just
didn't-
mentioned
yeah.
that one Futurama episode where they did exactly that.
Or it's Futurama, like
Yeah.
where they do the same thing. Or Rick and Morty, where they also do the same thing. But that's,
talk about that.
but that's
There's
a
other
little bit
stuff
more
I think.
intense rather than adventurous. Sorry.
Yeah, quite surreal.
Anyway, what was the
But
date?
22nd and 23rd of August, and it's open to the public, and it's at the Credit and Arts Centre,
So beside Hayward School in Crediton. Yeah, it's going to be wicked.
opposite Buccaneers. Yeah.
It is opposite the Buccaneers.
So,
which is where
and
we are
on the
now.
topic of Buccaneers, we can link that because this is going to link to the heritage stuff, because we can use the sounds we make there for some of the soundtracks, as well as some of the films. We're going to get some footage for that as well. So, kind of linking it all together really nicely.
Cool. What do you want me to say? What do you want me to do?
So, now I'd like to do a little bit more about... Can you tell us a bit about Katie's song and the Equal Access to the Beach campaign?
Okay, cool. So they're kind of part of one and the same thing. Careful you don't knock the table, Luke. What was it? I don't know what date that was. Recently, we had a gig at Big Bree Beach as part of Breaking the Barrier, which is organised by a charity called LifeWorks. So we were the band, and we performed a 20-minute set near the beginning and 20-minute set near the end. Now, usually when we go to a beach, we have a few issues because accessibility on beaches is pretty naff. And pushing, standard wheelchair or being on crutches on sand or on pebbles is a bit of a nightmare. And it means that you don't get to put your feet in the sea, you don't get to have a nice time, you don't get to, maybe go surfing, hang out with your mates on the beach on a sunny day, have barbecue, stuff like that, which is rubbish. But if you go abroad, like you go to Spain or something, they'll have wooden platoons or whatever you want to call them, so you can walk right down to the edge without getting caught in the pebbles or the sand. And they also have... You hate the sand?
I hate sand.
That's the other thing, real sensory stuff about sand. So quite a lot of people do stuff with or see. And in fact, I hate pebble beaches, but the sensory side of sand, but still really like the sea. So,
Ironic, isn't it? I live in Exmouth and I hate sand.
do you like the sea though?
Sometimes.
Sometimes. So if you could
But
avoid,
I just don't like the sand.
but if you could avoid the sand,
It's like a barrier.
if you could avoid the sand and get into the sea, that would be all right, wouldn't it? That would be considerably better than having to walk across the sand.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got like limited mobility or whatever,
Or you just don't like sand.
or you just don't have sand. So
In that
we'll
case,
think
go
about
to
that.
Budley.
So if you say go on holiday to Spain or something, quite often the beaches are really good. So you have these wheelchairs with the big balloon tyres on. You have like a pontoon to walk down. You have toilets on the beach, stuff like this. So it's much more accessible. In England, it's not. So there's quite a lot of the beaches you just can't get to. There's a lot of facts and stats on that on disabilityhorizons.com. So there's loads of things about getting to beaches in wheelchairs and whatnot. Anyway, so we went to Big Big because this was an accessible event. There were these wheelchairs, there were people on hand, we could have surf lessons, and it was just real cool. So what we've done is written a song, so words by Katie and Tom and chords and arrangements and whatever. We came together and wrote this song, which is about all the cool stuff that you can get at beaches. We kind of focused on the things we like to eat, because once you're at a beach, you're kind of at a beach. You've got the sand, you've got the surf, you've got the sea, but you've also got chips and ice cream and all that. So it's just a chilled out song about that. But our campaign is kind of Katie on the beach campaign, so that Katie, who uses a chair, can be a part of the gang and get on all the beaches, and we can just go, hey, should we go to the beach one day and just do it?
Because I was wondering about the kind of availability and the ease of getting those wheelchairs that were kind of tailored to the beach, because I hadn't seen one before. And
so I've only seen them in England, that is at Big Bream, and that's because we go to an accessible event. So I don't know whether they're there 24/7. They have lifeguards there, they have a lifeguard tower, so presumably they keep them there, but then they were just freely available when we went. We didn't have to go and ask anybody for them. The assumption was made that people would be there that need them, which makes the beach much more inclusive. I mean, I wouldn't have to ask someone to be able to go on a beach. I'd just go and help myself. Why should anyone else have to ask for something so they can access the beach?
And on the off chance that it not even be there as well.
Yeah, totally. The only thing that was inaccessible about the beach that day was the ridiculous cost of parking.
Oh, I know. I've heard actually. You might mention this.
So
before,
for the whole
as well.
day was £12, and the highest amount you could have before you were looking all day was only 4 hours, and we were there like 4.5 hours or something. So it all ended up being quite expensive, which kind of makes things inaccessible to some people anyway. Plus, it's just cash. So if you're really bad with money, or don't manage your own money, then that's kind of inaccessible
it's a day at the
straight away.
beach. It's not like it's
Yeah. But anyway, that wasn't the point.
There are pros and cons about everything, though, isn't there?
Yeah, but if you want more people to access the beach, and you want to be a part of something that most people, lots of people get to access, then there's always a discussion to be had and a way to think about it. And I think people aren't going to get it right every time. The most important thing is that people try and get it right, and it's a continuous process. You don't make something accessible and you go, achieved it, completed it, mate. It's something that will continuously be growing and changing, especially something like a beach, which is entirely organic and moving and changing anyway.
I wrote a blog post on exactly that. I'll put that in the description as well, because it's really relevant, is that you don't get it right first time.
No.
And it's just a process of learning, and I think that's for everyone.
And you're never going to learn. It's not going to. You're never going to achieve 100% accessibility. The most important thing is trying and taking into account the people that aren't accessing it and getting them to be part of making it accessible. So, I might have a whole bunch of ideas. There's going to be a whole bunch of things I hadn't thought about. Like you said, you don't like sand. I mean, I don't like pebbles. It hadn't even occurred to me, although it's glaringly obvious now that you said it, about the not liking sand thing. And then, some people are very sensitive to water and love sand. Some people have issues maybe with their balance, so it's not, walking on pavements and stuff absolutely fine. As soon as you go to a beach, it's going to be more difficult. They're all different things. And there will, obviously for everyone then, there may well be compromises. But anyway, that's what this campaign's about. It's about
sounds amazing.
Getting Katie on the beach. And it's obviously not just Katie, she's just one person that on the day that wouldn't normally get to. There was other people as well who hadn't gone in the sea for like 12 years. Just because.
Wow.
Just because. No real reason.
Yeah.
And some of that's about people's support and getting there, and some of it.
But it's all linked
some
to
of it's location.
isn't it? Yeah.
All societal stuff.
So, Curtain Man is the next thing. So this is about a poet called Roz, I believe.
Yes.
A fantastic writer who was wonderful and wacky and amazing and all
Always
these
wore a
sort of
pink
things.
hat.
And always wore a pink hat, which links to the music video that Andrew and I have been doing that will be done next time. So we've been using, to write the lyrics, we've been using the interviews from the Heritage Project we've been getting that have informed the script. So,
Do you want me to say it?
yeah, go ahead, yeah.
Am I right waffling? Do we mind?
I like waffles.
Yeah, I like waffles too.
I could do with some waffles actually.
I like potato waffles.
Chocolate, ice cream.
So, Roz, local poet from Crediton, known her for years, and unfortunately, she's passed away, and came as a bit of a surprise to us. She was a really good friend of the project, and she, obviously, it was a little while ago that she passed away now, but she gave us some of her poems, and we were turning them into a song. So we changed Curtain Man into a song, and gave it to Roz as a present. And that was really cool. But there's a whole bunch of her other stuff that didn't get turned or used into songs in that time. So what we're doing is we're taking some bits from her songs and some bits from our
Heritage
Heritage Project, putting it together to make a song that was kind of shared and inspired by someone that was important to us, and also as part of a project that was important to us.
And this is all for the Heritage exhibition, which will premiere in Buccaneers Bar on the 8th of October, I believe, where we'll be showing all of the films we've made and all of the findings from the Heritage Project so far. So kind of Curtain Man will be premiered there as well with the video that we recorded.
So this is another film that we've been doing. So Andrew and I went round in the hat recording bits around town that the kind of exhibition is going to be toured at. Okay. So for example, we've just had the Congregational Church agree to exhibit our exhibition in November, so we did a bit of recording outside there with the hat on, placing it kind of subtly in the background. So it's kind of an ode to that as well, to the places.
So it's like a story.
Yeah, it's kind of like a story of where we're going to have it featured around. So it links in that way as well. The next part would be another route in Britain in Bloom.
Oh yeah.
So Shu, where have we just been watering this morning? Tell us a bit about the outside of the tea rooms.
Been watering this morning.
Needs a lot, doesn't it?
Needs a lot of watering. Not there. There's a lot of watering.
So Britain in Bloom, I believe, is going to be. It's not. Judging is occurring in August, I believe.
This Thursday.
This Thursday. I said that we won't know when this comes out, but in the month after,
we will do when this come out. So it's judged this Thursday. For us anyway, presumably they've got lots of locations and it's different days. So this Thursday is the 11th of July, just to give you an idea how early we're recording this. And they're going to come and check out what we're doing. So we've got the allotment. So they're going to come and check out our allotment, which was completely overgrown, a bit of a state, and we're changing it into a beautiful kind of eco, grow your own food environment so that we can provide our own salad for the tea rooms. So locally sourced, fresh, organic, proper fruit, veg,
Taking
salad.
a page out of Hugh Fernley Whittingstall's book then.
Yeah.
Glad you know who I'm
So
talking about.
it will be all fresh and nice. So that's cool. So that's one thing. Obviously that's early days and that's going to be like a ongoing project. And obviously with weeds and brambles they always grow back, so there's always going to be work. So they're going to check out that. They're also going to check out our garden, which we got some flack for the other day because someone didn't like it, but we've had a really great feedback from probably verging on hundreds of people actually. Definitely tens of people. So they're going to come and check out a garden which is made from waste that we've found in the community. So primarily used car tyres that have just been cast aside rather than paid for to dispose of. So one thing better than recycling is reusing, because obviously it takes energy to recycle something.
How many of those tyres are actually yours?
None of them are mine. No,
That surprises me.
None of them are mine. Some of the wheels were mine, the centres, but the tyres I don't think are mine.
That actually really surprises me.
Yeah, me too. I hadn't thought about that.
There's quite a lot of tyres as well.
It's a heck of a lot of tyres, and that was all found from the land that we moved in on for the allotment. So someone told me that it was because they're good for growing potatoes in, because you can stack them up and then you can have tiered growths of potatoes. That's quite cool. So that might be what they're for, but I think to be honest, they were probably just thrown.
Yeah.
So anyway, they're going to come around, check that out, so we're growing our own herbs and stuff at the front, and we've got the garden, which is on the platform side of Credit and Train Station, which has the guy that you made with the violin. Do you know what I mean?
No one
should. Yeah.
Do you mean cello by any chance?
That's in the shed.
Violin.
I'm next to the
What,
shed.
the man with the violin?
It's in the shed.
Why, did he start falling apart?
Violin.
It's in the shed. Next to the bike.
Why?
There's no space in it.
All right, so we've got so many plants. One of our statues is gone.
Yep.
So, and then yes, on the other side we've got a cello built in and a drum kit and stuff. It'll be cool. They're gonna come and check it out, and that's enough waffle. Cool. Hopefully we'll win. So
Hopefully
I
we'll
think
win.
we got.
Fingers
Oh, that's taking part of the counts.
I reckon they'll win.
So I think we got a runner-up, or we got quite a good rating last year. So
And now
that's
we've gone.
completely changed it.
Yeah.
Who's doing what?
Who's doing the judging? Not one for us.
Who's doing the judging? I don't know. So it was Mike from Friends of Credit and Station that kind of entered us and put us in. So we're doing it affiliated with them,
Cool. Lovely TV,
which is what we did last year as well.
I reckon then.
What, TV?
Yeah, they've got to be.
No, but we'll be in the paper.
Not be on TV, guaranteed.
Nah,
For the lot.
it won't be.
You reckon?
It won't be, but it's going to be on a podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one.
Is it?
And next one.
Is
Which
it?
we'll probably announce
Oh, so this is
what
us.
happens.
To pretend that we've won already.
Is that real?
Oh, yeah, it was real easy. We didn't, we just,
We did it.
yeah, embodied the plants.
Mushy peas,
Red pig,
curry sauce.
chubby sauce,
Yes, please.
yeah.
Going to the seaside. Down to the beach. Going to the seaside. Oi, oi. Savaloy. Cod haddock.
Sausage,
Baked beans.
red pig,
Fish. Chips. Going to the seaside. Going to the seaside.
This is Abby's history section song.
Hello and welcome to the History Heritage part of the August podcast. Well, we do this part of the podcast because it helps us with our researching and our archiving skills, learning new ones, and it links to the Heritage Project then. So what we do is every month we'll choose a famous person and we'll research about them and we'll find out some really interesting facts about their lives and then we'll tell you because then we learn and you learn and everyone learns some really cool facts about some really interesting people. So, does anyone remember the name of the person that we chose to do today?
Go, Amy, go. What is it? What's his name?
Oh.
You had it then? Yeah, Debussy. Yeah, well
Yes,
done.
brilliant.
So, where was Debussy born?
France.
France.
Bam.
Amazing.
Does anyone remember, we're taking it up a notch, does anyone remember the year that he was born?
18.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we know the month.
So that was the month.
Yes.
August is the month. What year?
1870?
60.
62. Yeah,
So 1862 until
10.
Wait.
until
I know
So
this
when
one.
when was he died?
1918.
brilliant. Yeah.
Thanks. Gold star for Abby. So he lived through the war.
So, what did Debussy do?
What was it? What composer? What? Yeah.
And
What did he play?
Piano. Piano. Yes.
Yes,
well
he
done,
did.
Amy. Well done.
So Debussy was a very talented young man, and at a very young age he got sent to a particular kind of school. So what age did he go?
10. Yeah!
And what kind of school did he go to?
College. He went to college, but
Music,
what was it?
yeah.
Yeah,
Music school.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Special music school.
So what we found out is that his life is kind of split into 3 parts. Do you guys remember anything about how his kind of life was set out? So the first part, does anyone remember that one?
Growing up?
It was linked to growing up, but it was also about kind of finding himself for the first kind of third of his life. So he didn't really have an identity, or his music didn't have an identity.
Yeah!
Bam.
40.
So
Yeah,
40.
Got a 40.
he's reached
Yeah.
he's reached his next peak at 40. Does anyone remember the kind of area that would have been?
So
is that his most famous piece this time?
The kind of the style that he wrote in was
classical.
just impressionist.
Impressionistic.
And then the last third, which is the sad part. Does anyone remember this bit?
He died.
Well, and that bit.
55. Yeah, he died when he was 55.
Oh.
And his had cancer. Absolutely.
You got those notes. That's brilliant, Ames. So, can anyone remember his most famous? Well, arguably, but his most famous. Most famous.
Cat.
Yeah, could have been saying anything. But yeah, his most famous piece.
I was just saying going to say.
It's Claire de Lune. Brilliant.
Do you have any cats? Yes.
17.
Claire and Luna.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah. What?
No.
Did they not have flea treatment in those? What else have you got? Any other notes?
I don't have any other notes, so it's up to you guys if you have some really cool, fun facts about Debussy.
That was all we found out. So we remembered all of the dates and.
So that was really good, yeah.
Yeah. What was his first name? His surname's Debussy, but what was his first name?
Okay, it's very French sounding.
It is.
Dave.
Do you know what I was saying? Je m'appelle Javier.
Claude Debussy.
Like Claude
That's quite a nice
Monet.
name.
Exactly. And do you know what else? His pictures, Monet's pictures, look quite similar to the way that Debussy's music sounds.
So it's kind of like Monet painted.
Yes,
the most listening to.
Yeah, probably did. It was all impressionistic, and I think they all took influence from each other. They would all listen to each other's pieces,
look at
the art, and they were making a really interesting picture. It wasn't so realistic. It was much more impressionistic.
Kind of like nowadays, a screenwriter working with a composer.
Yeah, similar. That's a really good idea. Way of looking at it. He wrote a lovely piece called La Mer, the Sea. It sounds like the sea. It's beautiful.
Cool. I think that kind of sums up the history part. I think everyone learned quite a lot about Debussy, really. I now know a bit more than I did.
I knew nothing, and now I know loads.